됐다.
Powerful aura. Must be some artifact or. So this is where she disappeared
안돼,
to.
안돼.
Well, well, nice.
그래픽 좋아. 구경 좀 하고요. 말하자마자 그 사진 말고요. 셀카요, 셀카.
Missed a spot.
Where? Hope you didn't come to Gore.
No, to talk.
Turn around and wait.
Kira Metz, deep in the heart of Velen. Thought you hated the countryside.
I can assure you I do. Now more than ever.
Heard a witch lived out here. Never would have guessed it was King Foltest's former advisor.
I'm so pleased the world's still able to astound you, Geralt. I actually envy you that sense of wonder. Common in children, knights errant, and morons.
Someone's grown irritable. Is that any way to greet an old friend?
I believe I greeted you with a pleasant view. Now tell me what brings you here.
So, bet you saw this question coming. What are you doing here?
Let me think. Enjoying the country air? Admiring the unspoilt scenery? Or is it furthering the age-old alliance between the city and its breadbasket? No. I'm in hiding, Geralt. Blind to the state of the world? Don't you see what's happening?
You mean the persecution mages now face?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Radovid's new pastime. Pursuing anyone with a whiff of magic about them. Witch hunters. Sound familiar? Murderers scouring the north from end to end. Burning books, hanging soothsayers, torturing herbalists.
So how's it feel to be the village witch?
Horrid.
No joy in having the boundless respect and trust of the local peasantry?
They'd respect anyone who could produce hemorrhoid cream.
Been here a while, haven't you?
Long enough for rot to set in. You cannot possibly imagine how much I detest this place.
Any news of your sisters from the lodge?
None. We can't know too much about one another these days. It's safer that way.
Even tried to contact one another?
I've wanted to many times. But I've no way of knowing who would answer, or who might be listening.
I'm looking for a certain young woman.
Oh, really? Who?
Apparently she quarreled with the local witch.
Someone's been feeding you horse shit. The girls around here are too stupid to quarrel with me.
She's not from here.
You're up to something, Geralt. If I'm to help you, you must tell me what's going on. Who are you looking for?
Ciri.
Ciri? Well, now I understand the secrecy, not to mention the brooding, the furled brow. And you say she had some sort of problem with a witch?
So you haven't seen her?
I'm certain I haven't. But recently, someone asked me about an ashen-haired woman. He claimed she would stand out from the peasant crowd.
Who was it?
Not so fast,
아하.
Geralt. No humble plea, no offering for the witch.
My undying gratitude. Good enough.
It's nothing to sneeze at, but you've a knack for getting into trouble. I should probably ask for something more immediately deliverable. Oh, sod it, don't give me that look.
Oh.
I know it's Ciri we're talking about. It was an elf, this individual who asked about Cirilla. No flea-bitten Scoia'tael slob either, but an elven mage.
어.
What was an elven mage doing in Velen?
Well, I tried to ask him, of course, about everything.
Of course.
Oh, but you know how elves are. He asked many more questions than he answered.
He say what his name was?
He didn't. And he wore a mask. Very secretive all around, but I liked him. He was intelligent and composed.
He say what he wanted with Ciri?
Only that they were to meet in Vellum. He wished to know if she'd arrived before he did.
He leave any message for her?
No, but he asked that were I to meet her, I should lead her to him.
So you know where to find him.
Yes, he said he found a hideout in some elven ruins near the village of Midcopse. I'll go there with you.
Why? Think I'll have trouble finding this place?
I've unfinished business with this elf. He promised me something, but he never delivered it. Besides, I know you think as I do, that she might be there. And I'd like to see Cirilla too.
The Wild Hunt.
What? Phantom Riders? That means... I thought they didn't exist.
Feast your eyes on the non-existent then. Got a navigator with them.
What?
Can you teleport us to the other side?
I'd rather teleport us home. Do you really mean to follow them?
가봐.
Teleport. Hurry up.
Ready.
바다로 들어가면 되나? 오, 네. 익사체. 익사체. 아, 뭐야. 왜? 왜? 나 왜 안 되지? 아, 왜? 햇불 들어서 그래? 와, 햇불 들면은 강공 안 돼? 나 어떡해. 이 여자 이쪽으로 가셨다. 싸돌아다니지 말고 일로 와. 왜 강공할 수 없어? 왜 강공할 수 없어? 아, 반으로 갈랐다. 아, 좋아. 또. 불났다. 저 독가스인가 본데 이거. 아, 아드로 날려야 되는 곳이야. 네가 일로 오든가. 네가 이리로 오면 좋겠구만. 아이고. 아, 얘가 엘프 마법사.
That's him. That's the elf.
What was that? An illusion?
No, a morphotic projection.
A what projection?
Something akin to a postbox for mages. Much safer than an ordinary letter, which anyone can intercept en route to its recipient.
Message was definitely for Ciri, daughter of the Gull, Laura Doran's heir.
Indeed, it is what the elves would title Ciri. But what was the bit about the sign of her sword? A riddle?
Yeah, not a hard one though. Not if you know Ciri named her sword Tirel.
지랄.
Swallow.
Come now, who aside from you would know that?
Might have been the point. Your elven mage secured the passage, hid it, so that only Ciri could find it.
He failed to foresee that someone like you would show up.
Nevertheless, I think he was expecting uninvited guests. Made some preparations. Let's hope the Wild Hunt ran into some obstacles.
그냥 새야 새. 가자 그러면. 뭐 없나? 상자라든지 힘의 원천 같은 거 없나? 원래 이런데 하나씩 숨겨져 있을 것 같은데 그 비석 같은 거. 오, 아싸
Rather
레벨.
similar to that other pillar with the projection.
쉬운 길이 항상 오는 거 아니야?
Cirel, ni fordo sol eser
켈피.
heilsil.
켈피를 찾으라.
Help you? Does he mean that sea monster?
No, that's what Ciri named her mare. Horse could apparently gallop like a demon.
실이 말 이름이
Name for a
켈피였어?
horse. So, shall we look for it?
나도 떨어졌다 그냥. 쉬운 길이 그게 아니라고 하니까 나 피 좀 찾을까? 이거 봐봐, 이 밑에 딴 게 있잖아. 딴 거야. 이게 말 아니야?
Drawing of a horse.
맞네.
Clue for Siri.
떨어진 거
Must be.
맞네. 저 키랑 매칭가 제가 여기를 자꾸 쳐다보길래. 그 다음에 저희가 길인가? 왜요? 그래도 그렇게 많이 안 헤맨 것 같은데? 아니야? 여긴 더 있네.
Another horse. Almost exactly like the last one.
맞는데?
Let's see what this does.
Geralt, I don't know what you did, but
Ah,
it worked. Come back here.
아, 돌아오라네. 그거 뭔데? 오,
Look,
쇼커.
they're opening.
아싸.
Let's go.
조심 들어도 되니? 또 터지는 거 아니지?
Well, now I know what distorted my effort at teleportation. This very portal.
And I know why I landed in that drowner nest.
You should be pleased you emerged from the portal in one piece.
I
제비.
think that's a swallow.
아, 깜짝이야.
Sure it's safe.
Of course.
아, 잠깐만.
About this.
생각났어. 불 집어넣어. 내가 지금. 골렘은 뭐, 정령이야? 야, 이거 죽행이다. 잠깐만, 키라면 죽으면 안 되지. 나 빠져야 돼. 해피키 눌러가지고. 푸엔. 마지막 푸엔 터지네. 이게 다가 아니거든.
Another swallow.
Look, it worked. Come on.
가자.
Look, we've managed to cross the bridge. This is where we saw the wild hunt.
Great. Means they're way ahead of us. Come on.
아,
Shut up!
누군지 알겠어. 얼음 마법. 아,
SI 있어. 저도 조인 밀린 예하다. 렌!
도끼. 엄청 세 보여.
You're stubborn twat.
Geralt, I shall help you.
Step back.
Stop telling me what to do.
Ugly bastard.
이거 사람이냐 뭐냐? 펜 바르고. 아, 도끼가 세 보여. 아야. 아, 도끼야. 아, 뭐야, 뭐 하는데? 오!
Geralt, look! He's
왜? 아이, 하지마!
Focus.
뭐 하는데, 너? 아! 이거 안 되나? 아. 이런 게 나오네. 아, 좀 하지 마라. 아이. 어디 갔어? 안 보여. 끝장내, 이거. 완전 끝장내야 된대, 이거. 아, 저거에 자꾸 맞으니까. 끝장을 내야겠어. 회복을 해. 아, 좀. 야! 야 이거 뭔데 뭐하는데 야 쟤 완전 해보겠네? 나는 중독됐는데? 니트랄? 이건 어떻게 안돼 피가 없어 와 도끼 야 이거 도와줘 이놈이 도대체 뭘 어떻게 해야 되나? 아야야 오 멀리 안 피해줘 피 어떡할 거요 얘 또 어디 갔어 나와 씨 한 번 더 바르고 악마? 네가 악마야? 기름을 뭐야 악마를 발랐잖아 아야 안돼 피해야돼 펜 찰 때까지만 버텨줘 이거 또 피 채울래 이거 또 야 이게 말이 돼 이게? 이거 피를 적당히 해야지 피를 이렇게 채운다고? 너무 사기네. 미쳐가지고. 왜 사람 힘들게 할까? 된다고 해줘. 세 번째는 된다고 해주렴. 이트라이. 나 템 발라야 돼. 바르고 한 바퀴 돌았다가 주고받고 안 좋잖아. 싹 바르고 한번 발라야 돼. 기다려. 또 하지마. 세 번이야, 세 번. 와.
Unnecessarily. Let's look around.
와.
If I have my knickers on straight, this looks like the elves' laboratory.
연구실?
Tyrell, this place is no longer safe. Do not tarry here long. Trust no one. And above all, beware the witches of Crookback Bog. Try to reach the place where last we were together.
Where last we were together, not much to go on.
함께 있었던 곳.
Damn it.
Perhaps it's best he didn't leave a clearer message. The Wild Hunt broke in here. Surely they saw the projection.
They searched everything, and if they had more time, they'd probably have torn the place to the ground. But that doesn't change the fact that we haven't learned anything. Not about the elf, not about Ciri.
Well, we know they were well acquainted and traveling together.
Wonder why they split up.
Perhaps because the Wild Hunt was on the elf's trail, and Ciri would be safer if they did.
The witches of Crookback Swamp.
Crookback Bog.
Kira, if you're hiding something...
But I didn't say
You know these witches?
I've never met them, but I've read of them. In an old manuscript I
이걸
found in one of the
했었어야
huts in the
되네요.
village.
안나
It
찾으려면.
mentions the village witches venturing into Crookback Bog at times to liaise between the villagers and the crones, the ladies of the wood. The crones appear to be intolerant of outsiders, but they help the local folk. Apparently, they stop the spread of the plague in Vellum.
What's your take on this?
I'd love to shrug it off as the nattering of so many old women, yet throughout my first fortnight in Vellum, I had horrible nightmares. Something was calling me out into the swamps. One night, I decided to enter the dream consciously, render it lucid. I confronted the thing directly. It broke contact at once. Peaceful nights ever since.
Why didn't you say anything earlier? I told you Ciri had a run-in with
Uh-oh.
a witch.
Well, I had no idea you meant then. If I'd told you something, you would have rushed off to find them. But we needed first to confirm that Ciri was here, didn't we? I shall tell you everything now, of course.
Now, after I safely led you through the cave,
I can't believe you'd think so poorly of me. Perhaps you do bear a grudge against sorceresses.
can't imagine where that comes from. How do I find them?
The swamps are vast, dangerous, but they say the crones mark the way for peasants who wish to visit them. The manuscript mentions a chapel in Crookback Bog, and from that chapel one must follow a trail of treats.
Treats.
Of course. They didn't read you bedtime stories at Kaer Morhen. All normal folk know that witches live in gingerbread houses poised atop chicken legs.
I'll have to see that to believe it.
Take the tome and read it. I truly do believe you'll find your Cirilla. It's an illusion. I sensed it as well. I expected we might run into such things, so I brought this.
Meaning what?
The Eye of Nahalani. It dispels illusions. It's easy enough to build, so you're welcome to this one. It's bound to come in handy. And each time it does, you will think of me.
바로 써. 됐어.
At last. But it was worth it, right? You learned something about Ciri in the end. Something important. Do you intend to venture into Crookback Bog? You must tell me about it afterwards.
Don't know that I'll get the chance.
Geralt, there are two types of men. Those who see opportunity
Oh.
and take advantage, and those who forge the opportunities themselves. I've always seen you as an example of the latter. Besides, I've a favour to ask you. So, visit me sometime?
I'll stop by. You can be sure.
In that case, I shall be waiting.
See ya, Kara.
Witcher, a word, please.
What is it?
이건 별로였던 것 같은데.
That night when the Baron ordered everyone to lock their doors, stay inside. What did you and the Baron do?
Gotta ask the Baron about that. Speaking of which, know where he is?
Garden. Spends a lot of time sitting there of late.
Drunk.
No. Don't drink, don't eat. Just sits.
남자 그거 됐다.
There you are.
망가졌다.
See the hollyhock there? The violet blooms. Brought the plants here from Nazaire. Anna had read some story. Insisted on having them. Spent hours tending to them, trimming, pruning. She was so content at that. And them, the frilly ones, called birds of paradise in Zerrikania. But Tamara called them dragons of paradise. She adored them. Damn shame I'll never learn which blooms would please Dea most. Though it's good to know her spirit's free.
Your loss. It must hurt. Bad. But there wasn't anything we could do.
No. Not now. Not anymore. It was too late. That was clear. Should have acted earlier. Taken them all from this damned Velen. In this hole. This Reesty mire. Nothing could go right here.
Got some information about your family.
You've learned something? Well, let's go inside. It's a bit chilly out. Any news for me?
Your daughter's in Oxenford.
What the blazes? She all right? In good health? Safe? Why haven't you brought her back?
Never offered to do that.
How do you know she's safe? You see her at least?
No, but I talked to the man who helped her escape and then took her in. Tamara is safe and sound. From what I gathered, she has no desire to see you again, no intention to return.
I shan't trust some peasant dolt. I shan't trust whoever it is helped her. I need to know for certain she's safe. Go to her. You must be sure. See her yourself. I shan't believe anyone else.
확 그냥.
I've done my part. You've got dozens of men. There's got to be someone you can send.
You refuse to go?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you!
뭐라고요?
Yet, if you're ever in the area, by chance even, take this and just make sure she's all
너무
right.
What is
격하신데요?
it?
A letter of safe conduct. Ever since the Redanians took hold of the Pontar Delta, they made it damned hard to get to Novigrad without one. Very well. You were to find them both. What of Anna? Learned anything?
Nothing yet, but I'm on her trail.
Well, what are you waiting for?
For you to tell me about Ciri, like we agreed.
Fine. A word once given. When Ciri was on the mend, we took her out on a hunt. Thought a bit of galloping would warm up her limbs, gone stiff from so much bed rest. That lass of yours, pure luck in the flesh. To hunt down a wild boar that size, why, worthy of one of King
Ow.
Foltest's feasts,
아, 소리.
where he's still among the living. Ciri, come! Our haunt should be yours as I see it.
Hi, you done well, lass.
Not bad. Not bad at all. But who goes boar hunting with a sword?
No bow at hand, no spear. My sword was all I had.
Well, you brandished it beautifully. Where'd they teach you that, anyway?
배운 데가
Okay,
있어요.
Morgan.
Witcher school there, aye? But they only took lads, as I recall.
They made an exception for me.
Right. Mean to say you're a she-witcher?
Not entirely. The mutations, I was never subjected to them. But everything else I know, I learned from the witches there.
Know any of them potions?
Not so much. A bit.
Because you see, at times I get this pinching back here.
Shut it, Egrin. Nobody cares about your backside. A woman could swing a sword. I've knowed one. But never seen a lady mount anything but a cock proper. All tipsy on horseback. Nothing strange on account they bloody mount them sideways.
Perhaps you'd care to wager?
Think you can outrun me on an horse? Naturally. What's the stake?
Black mare. The one in the stable.
Oh, that won't do at all.
Well, that's an awfully gloomy face. Too much of a coward to race a woman?
The horse is mine.
To race the Baron himself. I'd consider it an honor.
Oh, that'd be a sight to behold. Would it ever?
Done. But if I win, I take your sword.
Agreed.
I'd not drink any more this night. You'll want your head about you. And we start at daybreak.
무조건 이겨야 돼. 아, 이길 수 있을까? 토끼가 세수한다.
The day dawns.
이겨야 돼.
Ready?
As ever, first one to the tower.
Man chop! Come on, Ciri, don't you embarrass us!
빨리.
Want that horse, don't ya?
아니야. 왜 길이 왜 이렇게 나와? 자자 길이 왜 이렇게 나와? 원기가 있어. 말 원기가 있으니까 남자 앞에서 잠깐만 씨. 말 원기 챙기느라. 비켜요 남장님. 잠깐만. 앞에서 살짝 가로막으면서 가야 돼. 어디?
Your sword is mine.
이겼나?
You're wind, not woman. Worthy of the best horse. The mare is yours.
Thank you.
길막이 답이야.
What?
왜? 뭐야 이거?
Another chance to win.
She screamed like a mad woman. In an instant, all had forgotten the wager. Every man ran to save his skin, even were it to break his neck.
And they make it?
Some, aye. Others were not so fortunate. But what happened then? I must say, Witcher, seen a lot, but nothing like this. Never.
Uh-oh. I know that look.
You're a fast learner. You'll know the rest once you find my wife.